The other Yamato, forgotten memories of an ancient maritime kingdom in Kyushu. In Kyushu, there lies a memory of another Yamato, one not told in the Kojiki or Nihon Shoki. In our previous video, we explored the end of the Kingdom's civil war and the arrival of peace in the Yamato region of Nara. According to ancient chronicles, peace came with the rise of Queen Himiko, and Japan was once again unified. But in truth, before the War of Wa even began, there was another Yamato that existed in Kyushu. The Jinmu Eastern Expedition myth from Nara is often regarded as fictional or symbolic. Yet across Kyushu, the footsteps of Emperor Jinmu remain preserved in local legends and shrine traditions. In other words, events considered mere myths align with real-world geography and place names in Kyushu. This suggests a deeper reality behind what we now call Yamatai Koku. Because the Chinese characters used for Yamatai Koku differ from Yamato, we tend to think of them as separate nations. But what if they shared the same origin? What if a different Yamato Kingdom once flourished in Kyushu? Today, with so much knowledge available, truths once hidden behind myths are being revealed. In fact, much of the early Kojiki narrative appears to take place not in Nara, but in Kyushu, as proven by shrine lore and archaeological distribution. The Nara Basin only began to thrive around the 4th century. Before that, the stories of Yamato may have been passed on by migrants to the region, then reconstructed and recorded in the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, transforming Kyushu's history into Nara's myth. Even today, scholars fiercely debate the location of Yamatai Koku. Was it in Kyushu, in Nara, or even in eastern Japan? With no definitive proof, we are left to question. What's especially intriguing is that the Jinmu legends in Kyushu, though chronologically inconsistent with those in Nara, remain highly coherent as narrative histories. This leads us to consider, was the Yamato of Nara a replica or a remade story of an earlier history that unfolded in Kyushu? And here we arrive at a crucial perspective: the origins of the Japanese language, hiragana, katakana, and kanji. These 3 scripts point to Japan's multicultural roots. Some scholars have noted similarities to Hebrew or Tamil, but especially interesting are the ties between ancient maritime terms and the Polynesian languages. For example, the term Ama-no-Torifune, heavenly bird boat, is thought to derive from AMA, the outboard float of an outrigger canoe, a key feature of vessels used by ocean-faring peoples. Kofun-era wall paintings depict such boats, their designs mirroring Polynesian navigation culture with surprising accuracy. Evidence from the Jomon-era further reveals a vast maritime network. Obsidian from Kozushima was traded across Honshu and Kyushu, proof that open sea voyages were already taking place. Even more astonishing, pottery from the South Pacific bears striking resemblance to Jomon-ware. Spiral motifs found in New Guinea, for example, carry spiritual significance. The Kwoma tribe of the Sepik River uses spirals to depict a spirit called Mawai, a fiery entity that transforms into a white dog, a white marsupial, or a snake, soaring into the sky at night like a ball of flame, like a UFO. These beliefs are based on living oral traditions. This connects intriguingly with the culture of the Hayato people of southern Kyushu, followers of Umasachi Hiko. Their dances mimic dog howls and involve spiral-patterned shields, mirroring South Pacific spirit traditions in symbolic form. And again, the theme of boats returns. The Ama-no-Torifune, another mythical vessel, resonates with the Polynesian word iwa, a frigate bird. In Hawaiian, iwa also means thief, reflecting the bird's habit of stealing prey from other seabirds. Yet the iwa was also seen as a divine guide in traditional navigation, a sign that land was near. For the ancient Polynesians, it was a celestial navigator, a protector on their long sea journeys. In Egyptian myth too, the god Horus rides a solar boat accompanied by birds, suggesting a shared global reverence for these beings of the sky. Some place names in Kyushu are written Hara, but pronounced Baru, evoking the Semitic storm deity Baal, and the Mesopotamian sea god Dagon, names that sound like dragon. Kyushu, being among the first regions in Japan to adopt agriculture, may have held fertility beliefs that aligned with these ancient deities. Later, pirates in these waters were said to follow a belief in Valhalla, perhaps a vestige of Oceanic religion. The Azumi clan, who worshipped the sea god, also became famous pirates during the Sengoku period. Their story fits this broader pattern. In the records of Wei, Queen Himiko's people are described as capable of year-long sea voyages. They likely reached Micronesia and Polynesia with their advanced navigation. The Polynesian island nation Tuvalu bears a name that echoes Subaru, and its people share DNA traits with Jomon-era Japanese. In South America, along the Pacific coast of Ecuador, the Valdivia archaeological site dates back to around 3000 BCE. Its shell mounds and pottery bear remarkable similarity to late Jomon styles. This suggests that ancient Japanese navigators may have crossed the Pacific. In this light, Kyushu was the perfect base for a maritime civilization. It had unspoiled spring water, healing hot springs, and direct access to the open sea. And so our journey brings us back once more to Kyushu, to Su Fu, the Chinese alchemist who sailed east in search of immortality. The Kyushu he landed on may already have been home to a maritime kingdom, the Mononobe Kingdom, the Toyo Kingdom, the sea god's people, all part of an ancient Kyushu legacy. Now is the time to retell that story, the tale of another Yamato. And so, as we look back on the lost age of the 8 undocumented emperors and the chaos of the Wa Kingdom, a deeper story begins to unfold. A story of endless wars, climate shifts, and population collapse. Eventually, it leads to the founding of Nara and the rise of a nation that would be called Japan. It's easy to forget, but it took over 1,000 years for the farming culture that began in the Yayoi period to spread across all of Japan. The East and the West evolved differently, and slowly their cultures began to merge. The Kojiki, compiled in the 8th century, tried to capture not just centuries, but millennia. It sought to weave together the memories of foreign settlers and the native peoples, tracing a history that may stretch back over 5,000 years. When we consider the scale of that task, it makes perfect sense that they chose to preserve it not as pure history, but as myth. Because myth can carry meaning across time, long after the details of history have faded. In our next episode, we will explore the cult of the star gods, the journey of Su Fu, and the rise of Amano Murakumo and the kingdom of Toyo. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story stirred something within you, we invite you to subscribe, share your thoughts, and walk with us as we continue to uncover hidden threads in the fabric of human history.